Hi, welcome to You, Me and Mediumship. A little video based on, as the title suggests really, loving your own God. Might sound a little bit confusing because obviously we don't have a God individually. There's more than enough gods as there is really, so we don't need to create any more. The reason I've said that kind of leads on to something that I said in a previous video, based on religion, based on self, based on truth. And I get many questions asking about where things like religion, our own beliefs, other people's beliefs, and obviously there are religions that do not believe in what we practice as mediums. So there's lots of ifs and buts and questions based on God and where this all fits with what we do. And I'm guessing really, if I go back to one of the previous videos where I mentioned about your foundation of mediumship and building your foundation on self, on your own energy, your own spirit. So when I talk about loving your own God, I talk about really building a relationship with that divine energy, with the source, the Great Spirit, personally, and learning from that foundation, not the foundation that you've had driven into you since birth, probably driven into you from school, many books on the subject, obviously, many different holy books. So we kind of have to try and strip all that away from within us and start to look to build that relationship ourselves. It's very difficult. It's not an easy task because obviously we are all being subjected to different ideas through different religions, through what they say. But it's important, and it will only enhance your work as a medium to try and build that relationship personally, yourself, with Source, with the Great Spirit. The easiest way, I think, would be, if you can, to shed that baggage of what's been driven into you over the years and try and think about your relationship and how you think you could build upon it. The easiest way, obviously, well, it's not obvious, I guess, but the easiest way is to find that God, that truth, that energy within yourself first. I know I go on an awful lot about self, learning about self and getting a grasp of that, but that helps in so many different ways. The only block, if you like, the only brick wall that we have with communicating with spirit is all that baggage that we have accumulated over our lifetime. That is the wall, that is the baggage that causes so much frustration and stress in what we do. So if we can just clear our minds and build our own personal relationship with energy, with the source, then it is going to do nothing but good for us. Now, as I've said, and I'm quite happy to say it again, I'm a believer in God, the Great Spirit. I'm not a believer necessarily in all the different labels that we give this energy. Obviously, there are many religions with many labels for this energy, for the Great Spirit. What's important here is not what we call this energy of love and light and warmth. What's important here is our relationship with it. And that part of that relationship, obviously, is with self, because the source, the Great Spirit, runs through self. It's what runs through every living thing. Everything that we experience around us has this flow of energy through it. So for us to experience it, we sit in our silence and we send out our intent, our love. We send that outwardly to source by expanding self, that energy within us, that life force that is within us, that light that is within us. By expanding that, that is how we find our truth. And that's how we build upon that relationship with that energy, with that source. There are many, many books. There are many different religions. There are many different labels of gods that man has created. And this is all because man believes he knows the answer to what truly exists. Many, many thou shalts have been written in many books. Thou shalt do this, thou shalt do that. And sometimes there are conflictions between what we can do and what we can't do. But if we truly want to know what we can and cannot do, the only way of finding the answer to that question is building a relationship with Source. We all, like I said, have that energy flowing through us anyhow. So the truth already lies within us. And all we have to do is listen. And as I said, I think it was yesterday, last night, to some people, that if we can get a grip on listening to our own inner thought, our own gut feeling, if you like, then we are tapping in to that truth. Doesn't always stop us doing the wrong thing, but the secret there is we know it's wrong. And whilst we're doing it, we have a gut feeling it's wrong. In other words, we're being told it's wrong. Whether we listen, whether we act upon what we're feeling is a completely different thing. So, in theory, we are all being told what is right and what is wrong, simply because the truth is within us. And we get that sensation, that feeling, that gut feeling. So we all have that truth within us. We do not have to read many a holy book. We do not have to sit and be preached to. We already have the answers, and all we have to do is sit and listen. the thing that will help you more than anything with your mediumship is to get that grip of self and listen to self. Once you've got hold of that, once you can expand on that, then your line of communication with spirit will be immense. It will build and build and build. And many of the great mediums, if they felt they hadn't got a good connection, or they weren't happy with their mediumship, would simply go and sit with spirit, with source, with energy. And they would continue to do that until that line of communication was built upon and became stronger. And back out they would go and demonstrate their mediumship ability. It is a continual learning curve, obviously. It's something we are all learning, and we all learn something every day of the week. Doesn't matter how old we are all learning. But I think sometimes, and I apologise for repeating myself, but we must build a solid foundation and knowledge of who and what we are working with. So if we can drop the baggage, like I said, of what's been drummed into us over the years, and build our own personal relationship with the beauty of this energy, this source, not only will it do us good as light workers, as spirit workers, but it also does you good in everyday life, because you will start to listen. You will start to act upon those gut feelings that you get. They will become stronger. Nobody is perfect, and we all make mistakes. That's why we're here. We're here to make those mistakes, to learn from them. It's whether we learn from them or not. That's the question. So, I'm a believer in God, the Great Spirit, the Source. Whatever label you wish to put upon that, I am a solid believer in that. That energy flows through everything. I also believe, and I've said this many a time, in some of the great people that we have had walk this earth with so much knowledge. Not just Jesus, but many others that have walked this earth and spread their knowledge and spread the good word, if you like. Do we believe every written word that man has written about these occurrences, these great people? I think we'll be very foolish to believe every word that is written, because man has had an input. And he has this habit of altering things slightly to suit. That's why it's important we build our own relationship with this energy, with this source. Then we find truth. It cannot be anything other than truth. So for you mediums out there who are just starting off on this journey, the best thing you can do, sit and build that relationship. That's why many of the greatest people that known to man, who some of the greatest light workers that we've ever known, go off and sit sometimes for days. And their knowledge is truly unbelievable. So, I hope that helps. I hope it didn't drag on too long, and I hope I wasn't too repetitive there, but it's just something that I just like to get across because I know how much this can help you. Find that energy for you and work with it. Have a lovely evening. Please like, please subscribe. My Patreon is there if you want to pop over. I'll put the link in the description. And we sit in circle once a month, first Wednesday of the month. So that's on Patreon if you want to have a look at that. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll speak to you all again very soon. Bye for now.